everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Well folks, it's time to return to my Sofia the First memory lane, and I kinda get the feeling that I'm halfway done with looking at these episodes. Special props to Randall Bruton for requesting me to blog them. Anyway, for this year, I'm gonna blog the episodes from Sofia's third season, which aired from August 5th, 2015, all the way up to March 31st, 2017. And to me, this episode was big. Like, really, really big. Due to Sofia becoming storykeeper and helping Princess Elena save Avalor from Shiriki. Anyway, to start things off, we're gonna look at one of my favorite episodes where Sofia and her siblings go on a daring rescue mission to save their flying horses. So let's get started. Airing on television on August 12th, 2015, this is Minimus is Missing. Now, let's get started. When all the flying horses in the entire kingdom, including Minimus, have mysteriously gone missing without any reason, Sofia and her siblings set out on a search and rescue mission with the help of the castle griffins to bring them all home. Later, the royal children learn that the person responsible for stealing the flying horses is a mischievous young wizard named Wendell, who plays hypnotic music with his magical lute. So, what do I think? Well, like I said earlier, this was one of my favorite episodes from Season 3, and not only is it very daring, but it also brings back memories from a few episodes from Season 1. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just move on to Mustang notes. Now, the moral of this episode is, when you love someone, you do whatever it takes to make sure they'll be okay when they're in trouble, which kind of sounds like something that I would do for a friend or for a loved one. Also, this episode is one of several that are featured on the Dear Sofia, a Royal Collection DVD. As for the animation, well, like Season 2, the animation is excellent. And like I said earlier, I think this episode brings back memories from a few episodes from Season 1, like Just One of the Princes, The Amulet of Avalor, and Two to Tengu. Speaking of which, I like that the episode's final climax takes place in the Hanging Gardens of Tengu, which, in this episode, is the Flying Horse Thief's hideout. And now, let's move on to the episode's song, which happens to be the villain's song, Wendell's Way. For those who don't know, this is the 5th villain song in Sofia's TV show. The previous ones being Cedric the Great, Make Way for Miss Nettle, All You Desire, and A Kingdom of My Own. In my opinion, this song is just awesome to listen to due to the rock and roll rhythm, even though lutes don't normally sound like that. Also to note, during the song, Wendell explains that he used his magical lute not only to capture every single flying horse, but also makes them do whatever he commands. And now, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Princess Sofia is voiced by Ariel Winter, whom was young Kairi in the Kingdom Hearts game series, Marina in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, a few of Thumper's sisters in Bambi 2, young Trixie in Speed Racer, Marlene in the complete version of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, Penny Peterson in DreamWorks Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs the Lost Village. As usual, I think Princess Sofia is a kind, compassionate princess, and she's also brave and loyal. During this episode, Sofia is determined to rescue Minimus and the other flying horses after they mysteriously go missing. Next are her siblings, Princess Amber and Prince James, voiced by Darcy Rose Byrnes and Tyler Myrna. In my eyes, Amber and James are pretty good supporting characters in this episode, and I think their horses, Echo and Saffron, are great too. However, I think Amber sticks out more in this between the two, due to her having a hard time trying to ride, even worse than what Sofia did during her first episode. And like in Two to Tengu, Amber is still afraid of trying new things, and she's still reluctant to go on rescue missions. But thankfully, she shows off her badassery by throwing figs at Wendell. As for James, well, I think his relationship with Sofia makes them very thick as thieves. Plus, I think James has become aware that Sofia really can talk to animals when he heard her trying to get answers from the mesmerized horses. Next is Sofia's horse, Minimus, voiced by Eric Stonestreet, whom I remember as the voice of Duke from the Secret Life of Pets movies. To me, despite being one of many captured horses in this episode, I think, with Sofia as his rider, Minimus has become very bold and confident throughout the series. Next up is Jasper, a young griffin voiced by Lions Luke Matthias, whom was in Craig McCracken's Wander Over Yonder. For those who may not remember, about 2 seasons ago, Jasper first appeared in the Amulet of Avalor episode, where he, after getting loose out of the jewel room, stole Sofia's amulet and other shiny objects around the castle. During this episode, however, Jasper has gotten much bigger and more mature, and I like that he helps Sofia and her siblings rescue the flying horses. Plus, he shows that he can get easily excited and he flies head on into any situation without thinking it through. Plus, my favorite moment is when Jasper breaks Wendell's loot. Also, after saving all the flying horses from Wendell, Jasper becomes very happy and he hopes to go on another excitable adventure someday. Next are Jasper's parents, Onyx and Opal, voiced by Kevin Shawn and Grey Delisle. To me, despite their fierce appearance, they're very gentle creatures, and I like that they're happy to help Sofia whenever she asks. Also, Opal is very tolerant with Amber, who did not know how to fly and would accidentally interfere with her flying, while Onyx tries to be a good example for his son, such as trying to teach him to sit still and learn what the task at hand is. Finally, we come to the episode's culprit, Wendell Herman Fidget III, voiced by Elin Galkoff. To me, Wendell is a typical spoiled little brat with an "it's my way or the hard way" attitude, and he believes wanting something is enough to automatically make it his. Also, judging by his outfit, it is quite possible that he's a student at Hexley Hall, and I thought his song number was very over the top and rockin'. During this episode, which took place on his birthday, his mom gave him a magical lute, which he dismissed as a poor gift, and he decides to use its magic to get the gift he actually wanted, flying horses, and he lures an entire herd into the Hanging Gardens. And when Sofia and James try to free the horses, not only does he thwart them with his lute, but he also traps Jasper and Onyx with vines. However, when Wendell attempts to hex the royal kids after Amber pelts him with figs, James throws a vine net on him, and Sofia and Jasper break his lute. His mother shows up after looking for him everywhere and discovers what Wendell has been doing. So, she scolds him for being unappreciative, makes him apologize for his thievery, and punishes him by grounding him and confiscating his flying carpet, as well as denying him dessert for a week, bans him from crystal ball gazing for 2 weeks, and to top everything off, she makes him spend the remainder of the day cleaning out the cauldrons. And now on to my final words. Overall, Minimus is Missing is a great episode. The animation is great as usual, it has a good moral, the plot is thrilling and epic, and it brings back memories from 3 previous episodes, Sophia and her siblings make a great team, and I'm glad that Amber gets a lot of character build-up and she overcomes her reluctance. Also, I thought the Castle Griffins were great supporting characters, and it was nice to see them again after 2 years. And Wendell was a pretty fun but bratty antagonist. So, to me, this is another episode that I highly recommend you folks to watch, either on Disney Plus or on this DVD. And believe me, your kids will be in for a very thrilling time. I give this episode a full 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for another episode, which also involves Minimus. Mustang Power.